Good morning everyone, it's Pierre speaking. It's Monday morning, it's the 12th of March 2018. Let's quickly have a look at some charts here this morning, starting off with the Euro Index. I'm going to look at the daily chart this week. Reason for it is, last week we closed only 21 pips higher than the opening, so we were very flat on a 4 hour. I decided to stick then now on the daily chart. The main trend is still up. So if we look at the daily chart, I will flip from the low we had to the high. Then our zone will be between 108.64 coming down to 108.16. Now this area here is key for me. 108.62, 108.48, 108.57 for support. So those three areas will be my areas this week where I want to go long. If 108.57 breaks, that will be my last line in the sand, and then I will leave it alone so that it does its thing, and where we probably can go then to previous month's low or even lower. But while 108.37 holds, my bias will be too long. Currently we're going a little bit sideways, so wait for price to come to you. If we look at the Euro US dollar daily chart here too, last week, remember we always start with the direction indicator. The trend is up on the 4 hour and the daily. However, last week we closed 10 pips lower than the opening, so we can't flip the 4 hour to get a long zone. We have to flip the daily. If we do that, we fit from the bottom to the top, then our trading zone will be between 2352 coming down to 2251. Key areas for me this week: 2298, 2257. This will be my last line in the sand for support to go long. If this 55 breaks to the downside, leave it alone till price settles, and then we will relook where to long this pair. Currently going sideways, and what's concerning a little bit here for me is that it looks like we might be trapped in a triangle, so take note of that. But the bias is long at this stage, while that 55 holds in that area there. Euro JPY 4 hour chart, this one also I'm leaving alone. Last week we closed 154 pips higher than the opening. By the looks of it, this one is stuck in a fat triangle. We whip swing through the 200 EMA, the 55 EMA here big time, and we can see candles are getting closer and closer, so that is definitely a triangle that we need to keep our eyes on. Euro pound daily chart, direction is long. 4 hour tells us the long, daily tells us the long. Problem, last week we closed 45 pips lower than the opening, so we can't flip the 4 hour, we have to flip the daily. We flip previous month from the low to the high. Then our zone starting at 88.41 coming down to 8778. Areas of interest for me, keep your eyes on the 38.2 FIP, because we've got two EMAs there, the 200 and the 55 and the 54 and the 38.2 FIP. Remember, we look for multiple reasons. That is a multiple reason area. If we do spike through, keep your eyes on 88.41, 88.52. This will be the last line for me in the sand, 88.52 to long from. If that breaks to the downside, I will leave it alone and then assess and see what we're going to do with that one. Pound US dollar daily chart, leaving this one alone for now. It looks like we're trapped in a triangle. We whip swing through all those EMAs. We shortened the 4 hour, long on the daily. Last week we only closed 67 pips higher than the opening, which is low because this is the pound. It's got a bigger daily range. But this is maybe the problem, because we're stuck in that triangle. We wait for the triangle to break out. Pound JPY daily chart, we swapped around here now, guys. I think it was the daily that said that we still need to look for longs. However, we broke now that 200 EMAs, the lights all changed to red. Last week we closed 250 pips higher than the opening, so we can't flip the 4 hour to get that short zone. We have to flip the daily. If we do that, we flip from the high of the previous month. Let me just adjust that to the low of this month. Then our zone will start at 150.81. Come on, man. 150.81 going to up to 153.71. We've got a problem just before we get there. We've got a 200 EMA at 148.64. So areas where I will keep my eyes on for possible shorts: 148.64, the 58.2 FIP at 149.43. Multiple reasons there. The 58.2 FIP is there. There's a 55. We've got a monthly pivot point. We've got a psychological level. And if you look to the left of the chart, previous support resistance. So those will be my areas. Last line in the sand, 149.96. Aussie US dollar 4 hour chart. This one, everything swapped around here. Last week we were still short, swapped around now, all the lights. We need to look for long. So what we do, we can flip the 4 hour because last week we closed 104 pips higher than opening. So we flip previous week from the bottom to the top. And if you make new highs here without corrections, follow it, guys, so that the Earth and Sky trading zone can move. Currently, the zone where I will look for possible shorts, Earth and Sky starts at 7801, coming down to 7764. Areas in the zone to keep your eyes on is the 50% FIP, because there's a psychological holding hands with it. Underneath that 7783 will be the 200 EMA, and last line in the sand 777 will be the areas. However, also keep your eyes on this. At the 38.2 FIP, we've got multiple reasons. The 54 EMA is there, 55 EMA is there. Look to the left of the chart, previous support resistance. Now I'm very keen to short this, guys. Once we get up to this level here, 7900, 7910, I will look at it. Price needs to slow down there, show me the candle formation, look for the MACD divergence on the 1 hour, and then see if you can get into a short on this one this week. Aussie JPY daily chart. Yeah, last week we closed 215 pips higher than the opening, but we can see the lights are red. The 4 hour swapped around now. We can't flip the 4 hour to get a short zone because of that 215 pips. However, we need to flip the daily. We flip from the high to the low of the previous month. Our zone 84.76 coming up to 86.44. Areas where I will keep my eyes on, where we are now, 83.96, 84.54. We've got a 200 EMA there, monthly pivot point, previous support resistance. Next line in the sand, psychological level of 95. There's a 55 EMA and the Bollinger Band is there. Always look to the left of the chart, previous support resistance there. And if that breaks, 85.92. So we've got three areas. 84.46, 84.94, 85.92 for possible short setups. US dollar JPY daily chart. We have to flip the daily chart. Reason for it is all the light shows that we need to look for shorts. However, last week we closed 150 pips higher than the opening, so we have to go to the daily to get a short zone. We flipped previous month from the high to the low. Our zone 107.87. Going up to 109.17. Areas of interest, 107.55. Reason for it is there's a 38.2 FIP, the 54 EMA is there, 200 EMA, monthly pivot point, Bollinger Band, previous support resistance. So that is a big area for us, guys. Starting at 107.25, going up to 107.87. If that breaks through, last line in the sand for me will be at 108.51, where I will look for short. US dollar CAD had a hammering last week. We had a nice drop. We closed 74 pips lower in the opening. Lights green on the 4 and the daily, so the main trend is still up. Problem is we can't flip the 4 hour to get a long zone because of the minus 74. So we have to flip the daily chart from the bottom to the top to get a long zone. Our long zone starts at 2626 coming down to 2458. Okay, just before we get to the zone at the 38.2 FIP, we've got a problem area because we've got a psychological level there, a 200 EMA, the 55 EMA, previous support resistance, so loads happening there. I will look for support at 2714 this week to go long again on that one. US dollar index daily chart. Yeah, we can't flip the 4 hour to get a short zone. We have to flip the daily. Last week we were quite flat. We closed only 13 pips higher than the opening. So I will flip the daily from the high to the low. Our zone between 89.26 going up to 90.51. This is the line for me in the sand. Possible shorts, okay? 90.51, and if that breaks last week's high at 91. That area there, okay. Here too, it looks like we trapped a little bit in the triangle, so take note of that. The main trend is still down. So I say again, 90.58, 91 will be my areas where I will keep my eyes on for possible short to set up. If you've got any questions, please guys pop in at the forum. I will be there. If I'm not there, some of the other guys, more senior members that's been trading Earth and Sky for quite a while, will also be able to assist you there. Well, that's it guys. I'll speak to you tomorrow.